Oh, it's very hard to, pick a favorite for this matchup here.
No, I mean, generally I would say maybe favored Lennli in moving. No move, anything can happen, and NMPZ. I mean, Lennli is also a very NMPZ player. I mean, he used to just play NMPZ.
Yeah, but I do agree. I would agree that Lennli definitely has an advantage on moving. No move, anything can happen, and NMPZ is more Armani's mode, so I would fully agree with that statement. We start off in Spain. We have this mile marker saying PO.
Yeah, stands for Pontevedra. Armani hasn't found one, but he's in the right region in Galicia, so it's gonna be a few points, but nothing major.
Not too many points. If Armani, they had put a very good guess down, even without having the mile marker.
Very unique region, has to be said. Doesn't really look anywhere else in Spain like that.
Yes.
Think and drive, that is true. We have a Alberta bollard there.
Indeed, we are in Canada, in Alberta, which was also written on that sign now. With that being said, another state that is very, very hard to region guess.
We have a town named 70 kilometers away, that could be findable.
Havre does sound familiar, but I'm not sure.
And it says, welcome to Alberta. Are we on the border?
It's saying something else underneath.
Elkwater and Medicine Hat. That is very far south. Medicine Hat is very far south. There it is.
I don't know if it's saying welcome to Alberta or welcome to Alberta something.
I mean, it looks like there's a border crossing or like something.
Would you have those in Canada between the states? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Maybe.
Sure, we will find out. Lennli is indeed on the border.
It
was the... Okay, that makes sense to be a country border rather than a state border. Because on a state border you will not have those checkpoints, but...
It also makes more sense because the city was 150 kilometers away, and from the border in the east it's not 150 kilometers.
Yes, now it does make a lot of sense. Wasn't really with my head there.
This was just a free round. Ponta Delgada, famous town. Maybe a 5k possible here.
Definitely, especially being along the coast. This is very findable. We are probably on the yellow road. Oh, not really. Not really. It doesn't look like a yellow road, especially not with that stop sign being there.
I mean, it's a small island. Like the main road can look like this.
I don't think you would get a stop sign on the yellow road.
Yeah, maybe.
So it has to be some off-road to it.
Yeah.
And we have a bunch of buildings around. And yeah, we are somewhere.
5k here.
Nope.
So no animation for us to look at.
Oh. Very sad. Hopefully we will get one at some point.
Probably not on this round.
Not sure if it will happen here. We are in Russia. We have this winter coverage, which is regional.
And
just a
guess by
couple
Armani.
parts got covered during the winter season in Russia in 2021.
Very far south guess here by Lennli. Pretty risky. But it pays off.
It was indeed south, but all the way on the border to Ukraine.
Could have been bigger points. Maybe Lennli saw that there were no birches. That's usually how you get this middle part. You don't really have too many birches in like Shakti and Volgograd. That's kind of where they stop.
Yep. Definitely a good clue to use to guess within that region in Russia. Also, the further south you go, you start to get more fruit trees, and trees you get more in a warmer environment.
And then he found a sign to Aurora.
It's saying Aurora.
That is very noble. He knows it. He's looking for the town name, but
on it. It's pretty far east in Aurora as well.
Yeah, this could be massive points. This does not look like Luzon if you don't have a sign. And Armani gets to the sign last second. Can he see Aurora last second?
Does see it.
He sees it. Does he know it? He knows it.
Oh,
but doesn't have enough.
He clicked towards there from the sky. To be fair, given that he guessed in the water, he was as close as possible to the location it could have been from the water.
That was very lucky for Armani. If he goes south there, that could have been like the game almost.
Yeah, definitely got lucky there to find the sign in time. And here we move over to a very interesting location here.
But now you have to think, what if Lennli insta-sent Aurora the second he saw it? Armani would have not have enough time, but you know, who knows what the opponent sees.
You never know, we will never find out what the scenario could have been.
The camera here looks very interesting. It looks very dark. I've not seen this, but looks pretty unique. Both of them on the same panel now, which is interesting.
Some language clues here. There was some Arabic.
Sir M. Does M stand for the state? I don't know.
B.
Madhya Pradesh,
M,
maybe?
M for Madhya Pradesh. Who knows?
Well, both of them technically guessed in that state, just in the very far north pockets. Moving game is going as expected so far.
Bunch of mixed trees is the first thing that I noticed, but we are in Romania.
This is Romania, not Bolu. There's a sign. Can he read that?
Doesn't sound familiar to me. However, if you get a good region
Does
guess
say
and...
Sukiaba on that sign, and both of them have it. Lennli has it now too.
Oh, there it
knows
is.
that
Okay, on the top right, yeah.
And it makes sense that it kind of looks
Okay,
like the
about
Bolu
now
Ukraine.
you line up the mountains. They both guess a bit more west because Sukiaba is more flat.
Yep.
That's how you can tell you are playing with pro players who don't just click inside the city but also know how to region guess around. We move over to this round, which looks quite interesting.
And the road to
Saying
Tallinn.
Tallinn. But I think you have signs to Tallinn and Tartu all over the country.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you have the number 5, you have the 2,
you have
so...
the 5 and 2 intersecting, and Armani's right on that intersection between those two roads. Again, he's trying to get closer rather than putting the pressure on. However, Lennli is on it anyway, so from now on you just try to give us that 5k animation.
Yeah, but this does not look like the 5k from Armani, but it could be. I think we're somewhere on that stretch.
I can't remember where the starting point was exactly, or what the pinpoint was.
Against the...
We didn't have any.
I think it was the lane merge that was the pinpoint.
That could... Yes,
Could
that happens
be.
on intersection-generated maps.
Yep.
I sometimes get those because those count as intersections if the road starts to split.
They can be hard to pinpoint, but they're good for information, obviously, because if you have a highway exit, usually there's information. But this will be Bangladesh.
Yes, I don't know if we had any town given on that sign, because Bangladesh almost always has the region given on those signs.
Yeah, they're very similar here in guesses. No big difference. Armani kind of annoyed there. Maybe he was thinking about going Kulna or further south in general. And he has only one round left now. Already the final round. I mean, look at this. Look at the health on both of these players. And Armani will be happy to see a big country at least. And the US he's pretty good at. Will he just insta-send and pray? He will.
And he does. He doesn't believe in science, he believes in his vibes.
It definitely looks
In this
Appalachian. I
country.
don't know where though. This is kind of hard to say. But
Putting
Lennli
the
is
pressure
on it.
on Lennli, but Lennli isn't too far away.
This has to be north of Armani for him to win.
It was just Kentucky.
Just Kentucky.
That is the win for Lennli. As predicted, getting the win on the moving game here, Armani versus Lennli. And we move over to the second game, which is the no move mode.
Yeah, no big mistakes from Lennli, I have to say. I mean, there was not really that much room for Armani to take any points. Like, in what round could he have made any, like, very big guesses? Like, the India even was not big enough, or Lennli was not far away enough for it to matter, really. That's a pretty,
not Lennli
definitely a very hard game to win there.
Very consistent player, as we already saw from the stats.
Definitely adding onto the stats now. We have a white sticker, which is usually Italy.
Italy then. Yeah, I agree. Looks like a central valley. We have some mountains. The architecture doesn't look too southern. The mountains don't look too northern. Therefore, I would say we are somewhere in the central valleys. So yeah, it was pretty far south though.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, definitely the architecture didn't give me...
I feel like, I mean, architecture maybe still makes sense around there. That's pretty much as far south as it could have been, I feel like. With those clues. However, speaking of clues, we don't have a lot here to work with. However, we have a pole. We have some oil palms. Those oil palms you see in South Thailand, you see them in Malaysia, you see them in Indonesia, mostly in Sumatra, a little bit in Kalimantan. So out of those places, we can rule out Thailand, because we have a square pole. We don't have a square pole.
True.
We have a round concrete pole, which puts you more towards Malaysia, sometimes Indonesia.
Yeah,
and that's also where Lennli is hovering in between. I am not sure here at all.
I would just go maybe like... The thing is, the car didn't look black, so maybe it's a blue car that is a Malay. Like, is it blue?
Mm-hmm.
It almost looks blue, so
looks
maybe it's
blue.
Malaysia.
Yeah, I like Malaysia, especially with that. Oh, it was Sulawesi.
There is oil palms in southeastern Sula. That is true. But it's
no one is guessing there. No one is guessing there.
I remember playing with Consus one time, and we got a oil palm plantation in southeast Sula, and he somehow got it. I don't know how, but maybe that just was just so rocky. Maybe that is a clue, but I would personally never take the chance and guess there.
Yeah. I mean, Consus is known to be a very good Indonesia player, but if you are not, then it is very tough to get. However, here we are in a deserty landscape with the Google card that is specific to Mongolia, and with that given, this road makes sense. However, region guessing it is quite tough unless you are Lennli. Unless you are Lennli. He is right on it.
He is right on it, and
a lot of points given the fact that both have been on the right road.
Yeah, that road very recognizable. Speaking of recognizable, those mountains look pretty nice.
They do look nice, but are they recognizable?
My guess would have been, honestly, just west of Bangkok, maybe.
I do like that. They are... Well, at least Lennli didn't open the map up yet. Armani is more towards the southern peninsula.
You definitely get mountains like this in the south, but usually it's not this dry, but it can always be there. So maybe going like the very thin part where Lennli is right now, maybe it's a good hedge, because I also don't see a snake trap on the poles.
That is true. That's a good clue.
And now we have a Pattaya, I guess. Very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if that's maybe a hedge from Armani to cover the southern parts and the northern parts of the peninsula, or if he actually thinks it's
Lennli is
there.
in the water right now.
Yeah, I think both of them pretty much hedge because they are afraid it could be further north, and it indeed is. That's another 1,000 points for Lennli. By just guessing in the water.
And he was very close to it in Pattaya. That could have almost been the knockout damage, but a very risky guess because you don't have too many mountains there. I'm actually surprised he considered that, because that is a very tough region to get, this like east of Bangkok. But this should be a bit more straightforward. What do we have here?
I think this is, especially with those trees, I did consider Nuken, Mendoza. Maybe a bit further south with those snow-capped mountains though.
Yeah, we have a very big valley. This looks like it could be knowable. And we also have a big river crossing. There can't be too many, surely.
Surely.
I think both of them are in similar areas, but they're both still scanning a lot.
Actually, there are a lot of shrubs, so maybe we are further south. Just those trees towards the west looked a bit more northern to me. Where
he's now
Lennli
very far
is,
north.
he is in Newcon, so
He's very
nice to
far
see
north.
that, because I wasn't happy with none of them agreeing with my shout.
Armani's
Lennli
road
is in
kind of makes
Newcon
sense.
now. And you
But-
trust the
wow.
trees. You trust the trees.
We trust the
Was
trees even though it's winter.
Indeed, around there, and Lennli puts on the glasses.
Almost looks like the
Getting-
one he has on his avatar.
He's matching with his avatar right there. And